Okay. Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm with my buddy John, and we're here to review the movie Fighting with My Family.
Well, not our family.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a wrestling movie. It was produced by The Rock and written and directed by Stephen Merchant, who does a lot of stuff with Ricky Gervais. And he's like tall. I forget how tall. He's like 6'7", 6'8", or something like that. It's Merchant. But yeah, it was funny because I saw that and I didn't know if you had seen the trailer. I'm like, oh, Jason, we ought to check out this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it looked really good, and I liked it. I wasn't familiar with the people because I haven't really watched wrestling in probably 30 years, other than bits and pieces. But I never kept up. I was never really big into it.
Yeah.
But it's all right. I was telling Jason, I remember in high school sometimes it's like, man, this episode of Saturday Night Live sucks. Oh, hey, wrestling's on. Ah, this is actually funny.
Yeah, more funny than wrestling. Yeah, funny than Saturday Night Live. I mean, because we saw an ad for it, and just said Fighting with My Family, I saw Rock. I don't know what the heck this is about. This was a couple months ago, and then on the Titan games, they started showing commercials for it, and then it's about Paige. Holy crap, I want to see this. And John's like, who's Paige? And I
tell him, like you said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention.
Yeah,
but, it was good, and they had a good cast. Like, they had Nick Frost playing her dad, and Lena Headey from most well-known from Game of Thrones, but she was also on a good show. Unfortunately, got canceled. I think it became too expensive to produce. Was the Sarah Connor Chronicles? Spinoff of the Terminator, and but then she also did a movie called Laid to Rest, a horror movie that the actor that played John Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles also co-starred in the movie with her. So it's kind of neat. And then some other people that looked familiar, but I don't know if I knew who they were.
Oh.
Like her brother. I had to look up who played her brother.
Okay.
He looked familiar. But I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely wonderful. I loved it. Because I was fed, I didn't know exactly. And then Paige, oh man. Because, I haven't watched wrestling for the last year or so. Because, I think with WWE Network, I think it's oversaturated now. It's not as good as it used to be. I think they're saying that they have record low ratings on Raw and stuff like that. But this movie's absolutely fantastic. I loved it. Lots of humor. Lots of part I was tearing up crying. I didn't bring enough. It's like you laugh 1 minute, then you cry. I did, And it's the first movie from WWE Studios I've seen in a theater since Suburban Commando back in '91. I saw on opening day. And I remember it had Hulk Hogan in it as a space alien coming to Earth and to help out Christopher Lloyd. He was like a nerdy guy. And they had a great line in there where these motorcycle guys would park their one car in front of the driveway, so Christopher Lloyd had to park on the other side, and they all laugh and stuff like that. And Hulk Hogan, Suburban Commando, Hulk Hogan said, that ain't right. And he moved the car, and the guys got mad, the gang or the tough guy. And one guy I've seen before in a lot of things, he went up to Hulk Hogan, and he said, man, you can't do that. Well, you know what we're going to do to you? And Hulk Hogan said, let me see. You're going to beat me up and then cut me into pieces and feed me to a warthog.
No, we're going to sue you.
Yo, you knew that? God damn it. You knew that line?
I saw that movie.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah, I think I did.
Oh, okay. He goes, what are you nuts? This is the 90s, pal. We're going to sue you. Oh, okay. I didn't know you knew that.
All right.
That's funny. But that's awesome. I love that.
Well, speaking of cars, it's like my brother, he's 6'4".
Yeah.
He used to be very muscular, just won some national arm wrestling titles. But when he was in high school, I'm a few years younger. For the yearbook, when you do all these action shots and that, he picked up the back end of a small car and held it like this.
Holy crap! That's
He
cool.
was telling a story when he was in college. There's one professor him and his buddies didn't like, so they went in the parking lot, and he had professor had a small car, and there's a car parked on either side. Well, he took his car, picked it up, and spun it around sideways.
Crap!
So the guy had to wait for the other vehicles to leave before he could leave.
Oh man! But that was when I was in Fort Detrick, Maryland, a few months before I got out of the Army. But I remember reading the paper, and they had a review of it. I'll never forget the review. It said, Suburban Commando it's a movie for 10-year-olds, written direct by 14-year-olds. I said, well, that sounds like my kind of movie. I loved it, though. I thought it was funny.
I can't remember. I think I might have thought it was okay, but I wasn't too impressed.
Well, Leonard Maltin actually gave 2.5 stars. A lot of critics there were saying like iffy on it, but I liked it. I know Triple H was busted on Hulk Hogan, but he was really bad in Blade 3, and the Chaperone wasn't that great. Well, Chaperone's all right, and he goes, I'm the Chaperone. My dad started laughing. He said, what is cheesy acting?
Well, one of my brother's arm wrestling buddies, the guy that started American Gladiators.
Oh, really?
Beat up Hulk Hogan before.
Holy crap.
Before Hogan got famous,
yeah.
It was down in Florida. There's an arm wrestling tournament, I guess Hogan entered.
Oh, cool.
This guy, Dan, beat Hogan. And then Hogan was waiting for him outside to beat up Dan, and Dan kicked his ass.
Oh, man. Wow. But, I mean, Finding My Family is absolutely...
But he's, Dan's big construction
Oh, yeah, he
worker.
is.
That was also a member of, like, a local gang, not like the Hells Angels, but, a group of people you wouldn't want to mess with.
Yeah. Well, you said construction worker. I thought you were going to say member of the Village People.
No, iron worker.
Oh,
my
okay.
aunt's first husband was iron worker with him.
Oh, wow.
So I knew of the guy.
Yeah. I really loved the movie. Yeah, I think I got to tell my sister about it. I mean, I know Dad would have liked it. I mean, it's really funny, but lots of tears. I mean, you get in the movie right away. At least I did, and that might make me even want to watch some more. I mean, because I haven't watched wrestling in a while just because, I don't know, it's not, but I think it might actually make some people go back to watch wrestling. But even if you don't, and you don't have to be a wrestling fan to like the movie either. I mean, it's an underdog.
Story.
It's an and it's great. She comes from this wrestling family, wrestling in a small promotion in England. Right. Just like William Regal said, he used to wrestle in circuses in England, which is really dangerous, where he would go up there and he'd say, like, whoever could beat William Regal gets, like, I don't know, $100, $200. And this one guy came up and he didn't feel like dealing with him. He kicked him right in the face. Like that's pretty brutal in England and stuff like that. But I mean,
yeah, some of those are a lot rougher. Like they show in the movie The Wrestler.
Oh, that's a great one too.
Yeah, where they show how violent some of them are.
Oh yeah.
I like it. I want to see it because Nick Frost and Lena Headley, or however you say her name, and then being written and directed by Stephen Merchant. So I'm like, this is gonna be fun. And I knew it was gonna be a good movie. So, and I know you're much bigger than wrestling now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I stopped watching, but I love to see. I mean, but there were so many movies. That's why I wish they had the Doll Theater back.
Right.
You know what I mean? One thing you're talking about people being more physical, hurting people like that. That's what something else CM Punk did. He was on Colt Cabana's radio show. 'Cause I remember listening to it because he has a Channel Plus a podcast or something like that, and he was talking about Ryback, and he called Ryback very hurty. I mean, like he would or they wrestle stiff, where they actually hurt you on the wrestling ring and stuff. I think Chris Benoit, before he did all the horrible things he did, used to wrestle stiff like that too.
So Jason,
and he crippled some guy too.
My brother still has this glass. I think it's like 16-ounce glass.
Yeah.
From McDonald's back when he used to have that sort of thing of a bunch of big wrestlers from the 80s. So I can't remember if Hogan was on it, but I know Roddy Piper, Iron Sheik, and a few others.
It probably was Hogan, because that was during the terms of rock and wrestling.
And Andre the Giant was on that glass.
Maybe not then.
So it was a big, like 16-ounce or maybe 20-ounce glass.
Oh wow,
that's pretty cool. He still has that. Yeah. He has it in his basement.
I have that
collection. He doesn't use it because that's not something you want to break.
Oh yeah, I don't.
You're not going to be able to replace something like that.
Well, I think my dad had that collection of the Pittsburgh Steelers glass from McDonald's. I think it's wrapped up. I'm afraid to. I want to do a video about it, but I'm afraid to bring it out. It might break, but I don't think it will.
Well, I've got in my basement here. I think I'm the one that kept it. My brother and I were little kids. We used to collect beer cans because my dad drank all these different beers from all over. But he bought a case of beer celebrating the Pittsburgh's 4 Super Bowl championships.
Oh, cool.
In the 70s, and was it early 80s? Whatever.
Yeah.
The Terry Bradshaw era. And he opened them all from the bottom. So we had this
cool
case of empty beer cans
that's awesome.
Opened from the bottom, celebrating the 4 Super Bowl wins.
Speaking of that, I remember...
from the Terry Bradshaw era.
Yeah, whenever going to Village Cinema... And they had that one thing with them being a Super Bowl. They did that one for the thumb. They had 4, and it was like we went to see some movie. I don't know if it was Flash Gordon or not, but I remember, I think it was a pop, and they had like the ad there, one for the thumb or something like that. We had those plastic, but not anymore, but we did a long time ago. That might have been around that same era, I can't remember. That's back, Terry Bradshaw was really, well, he's still pretty big now, but you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I give Fighting with Family a 10 out of 10. It's a wonderful movie, touching, and like The Rock said something like, it's inspirational to any new YouTube channels, like, so we want to be just like you. And he said, well, don't try, I mean, well, he gave a whole big thing about stick up your candy ass and stuff like that. And he said, don't try to be like me, or try to be like the first you. You know what I mean? And that's what would be good for, like, YouTube channel. It's a very inspiring film, too. It's wonderful.
I read, it's like The Rock saw a documentary on her.
Yeah, I got to watch the documentary.
And that inspired him to call up Stephen Merchant and said, hey, you should write a movie about this family, about, Paige. So he did, because I guess he worked on, I never saw The Tooth Fairy or whatever it was. Comedy.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Yeah, I think I heard it wasn't very good, so I never bothered watching it.
Well, they had, the second one had Larry the Cable Guy playing his character, so, but I saw it, like, they did Jingle All the Way too with Larry the Cable Guy, but it had a funny scene with the fighting teddy bears, which was funny. But I've seen a lot of WWE movies, but it's only the second one I've ever seen in the theater, you know what I mean? Because they had some that played in the theaters before, like Fear No Evil and Condemned, and
yeah, I don't know if this and Suburban Cam Man might have been the only ones that saw the theater, because
No Holds Barred did. But I didn't see that at the theater because I had to work. That was when I was in Germany.
I don't know if I ever saw... I saw other movies that they released, but I don't think I saw them at the theater.
Oh, and The Marine did too, that John Cena, which was really good.
Yeah. See,
I didn't see that at the theater.
Yeah. It's like that and See No Evil, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I ever saw any of them.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of those ones, like the John Cena ones and stuff like that. I like I said, the only one I've seen was Suburban Commando on this one for WWE Studios. But I think this would be a modest hit. I mean, I didn't play as big as some of the other, but it's really wonderful. And the people who saw it were laughing their butts off. It was good, and then it's touching too. So I mean, it's great. So I guess that's it for me and my buddy John. So until next time, buddy, at full on 10 out of 10 for Fighting with My Family. I highly recommend it for everybody.
Now I'm gonna go Club Jason.
Oh no! Oh no! Take care of my legion. Oh. That's gonna be such a cheesy ending.